Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Wilhelm Scream, and welcome back to another day in Destiny 2 for some more Destiny 2 news and Season of Arrivals intel. And it was a big day in the Destiny universe. Hopefully you guys have been participating. I have really been enjoying the day. We got a new exotic quest, and I'm sure that most of you are out there trying to get your new Ruinous Effigy like everyone else is, as well as that's what I spent the better half of the afternoon doing. And of course, along the way, I picked up a few tips, tricks, and a glitch that I'm going to share with you pertaining to this new exotic weapon. I'm going to get to all of that in just one second, but first, I just want to remind everybody I'm still doing the giveaways on my YouTube channel. The next one will be at 30,000 subscribers, which is absolutely insane. All you have to do to be entered into that giveaway or any other giveaway on this YouTube channel is like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn on the notifications, the bell that's right next to the big red subscribe button, and follow me on Instagram or Twitter. They'll be linked down in the description box below. And as always guys, if you stick around till the end of the video, I'll have a secret hashtag you can leave in the comments section to be entered into this giveaway a second time for this video. And remember guys, those secret hashtags, they stack between all videos, so if you haven't done this on a previous piece of content on this channel, go back, check out another video, and of course, do it again. Alright, so this was a medium length quest, as far as I could tell. There's been more difficult ones in the past. The Xenophage, if you did it straight up, was probably going to be quite a bit tougher than this, but it did require a bit of farming. However, I have to really hand it to Bungie on this one in that we really had a great quest so much as we kind of blended things that we were already doing with a whole new subsection of stuff, and I really enjoyed that. So let's just go through briefly the first couple of steps of this quest right now, just in case you don't know, maybe you haven't had a chance to actually start it yet. The very first thing you're going to want to do is go to the tower, go to the Prismatic Recaster, and you're going to pick up this quest step, Growth. Simply just go to the Prismatic Recaster, it'll be there for you. And it basically just tells you to go and complete the interference mission for today. So that requires several things that you would need to do on Io. It will require some public events, some contact public events, but once that's done, I mean, most people are probably familiar with how to do the means to an end quest to get to the interference mission. Then you're going to move on to the next step, which is this, Growth. Now, this is really where the quest kind of gets a little bit more involved. This is the Growth Pendulum section of the quest. For this, you're going to need to collect calcified light, which are essentially little ghosts that can be found on the 4 planets, that's Io, Titan, Mars, and Mercury, that have the pyramid ships now hovering over them in the destination screen. Every single one of those will have these new calcified fragments that your ghost can help you find simply by readying it and scanning the environment. They'll sort of look like the patrol beacons, but they're a little bit different. They're just sort of a solid white square, and you'll see them scattered throughout each section of each part of the map on each one of those planets. So each one of those planets, depending on how many sections it's split up into, will all have some of these calcified light scattered across it. So it's a little bit of a scavenger hunt, though it's not too difficult because, like I said, your ghosts will point them out. And if you're kind of looking for a little trick, some people forget about this. If you're on a Sparrow and you open your ghost, you can actually still go full speed on your Sparrow while having the beacon show. So you can scan the environment, then get on your Sparrow, or get on your Sparrow, scan the environment, and unlike when you're running, you can actually just speed over to all these little things. I don't know if that's a glitch, but it's just kind of a little trick some people forget about. The next thing, other than just going for that scavenger hunt, which like I said is fairly simple, and if you're looking for places for all of those, I'm going to leave a link to a couple other YouTubers' videos down below. A lot of people just did this whole scavenger hunt and have great video of it. So if you're looking for just that, there's I'm sure an easy search would get you all of them at this point. But other than that, the other big thing and specific part of this quest step is the Savathûn marionettes defeated. Now, these are bosses that spawn every time you complete one of the contact public events. You'll get one every single time you make it heroic. However, at the same time, it seems like when the contact public event is triggered, at least on the planet that the contact public event is taking place on, this week it is for the first time Titan. In the other zone, so on Titan, the map is split up into two zones. The one that has the contact public event in front of it will essentially be where everything is taking place so far as just doing the actual contact public event. In the opposite zone, there'll be a small boss that spawns randomly, and they'll be roaming. And these will also spawn a marionette. So if you're having trouble making the contact public events heroic, or you just don't want to do 15 heroic contact public events, you can go and farm these marionettes elsewhere. And they do spawn on more than one planet. They spawn on all the planets where the pyramid ships are. So you can actually find them on Io, and Io is actually probably the best place to farm these if you're just looking for the marionettes in one specific spot, and that's the only method you want to do if you don't want to do any of the actual contact public events. But I would actually suggest another way, because though these roaming bosses do spawn fairly often, I think you can sort of double up using another method. And I found that when you go to Titan, because it's only two zones, every single time you complete a heroic contact public event, you'll get a marionette. And at almost the exact same time that ends, if you switch to the opposite zone, you'll find one of the roaming ones. So the big trick here is just making every contact public event that you do a heroic one, and then simultaneously at the end warping to maybe a zone on Io or maybe just the other zone on Titan. It won't really matter. You'll probably be able to load up all of them in the same amount of time and cashing in on one of those roaming ones. And to make the whole process of getting a heroic public event in the contact event easier, you can use the ball duplication glitch, which I've talked about several times on this channel. Essentially, wait till you see the golden beam pointing to the roaming boss. It'll usually be an unstoppable or a shielded or an overshield ad somewhere off on the map. Once you have this node, though, after you've killed that ad, you'll be able to dunk this node several times simply by going up to dunk it and then swapping weapons right as you're about to. And it's a fairly easy trick to do. But every single time you dunk this, it's about, I believe, an eighth of the way all the way to a full next phase or a next round. So this will eventually let you fill up the whole bar with about 2 minutes left or so, and make this a heroic, in which case you'll get another marionette for sure. So for that section, other than this and just kind of knowing when to go and pick up that second roaming marionette and doing the scavenger hunt, you'll be able to get through this fairly quickly. Like I said, this is going to be the thing that probably takes the most time. For the next section, you're going to need to do feed, which requires gambit and reckoning percentage, a void kills percentage, and a precision kills percentage. So I would just use, if you have any sort of void auto rifle or any submachine gun, go and just do reckoning tier 3. I believe it was, for me, 4 reckoning tier 3 completions got that whole section done for me, as well as I was able to get a whole bunch of void kills and a good percentage of the precision kills done as well. But reckoning tier 3, yeah, I'm sure you could do tier 2 as well, but I did tier 3 and it was only 4 completions, or maybe it was even 3 completions, I'm not totally sure, but I was able to do it fairly quick. I know by my second run I had about 54%, so I'm not sure where that extra little 4% was coming from, but Other than that, the only other thing that you might need a little bit more at the end of the Reckoning, like I did, because I had gotten the Void kills as well as almost all of the precision kills, but I still had a few more that I needed to do. So I just went into the Whisper of the Worm mission. Most of you know about this farm. Just kind of make your way to the green room and then drop into the bottom, and you'll get infinite enemies that you can kill with any precision damage. I was using an auto rifle. I actually at this point didn't need any more void kills, so I just switched to a heavy machine gun eventually and was able to knock them out pretty quick. And now on to the actual glitch I wanted to talk about in relation to the Ruinous Effigy. Now this is a fairly interesting one, and it's kind of one that's been around, I think, for a little while. And it has sort of two parts. There's kind of two different glitches that we're going to talk about. One is just kind of related to mods, specifically the high energy mod and the surprise attack mod, as well as a taking charge mod. This allows you to get stacks of light in a specific manner, where when you switch on and off between your primary and secondary, you get a little boost to damage. It's not a significant boost, but it was interesting in that this still related to the actual charge from the Ruinous Effigy. But the other thing was a little bit more complex, and that is more related to an older glitch with middle tree void on a warlock. But it didn't used to work this way, and I don't know if this was ever actually removed. However, it's interesting to be able to do it with just a node that you can generate at will at this point. And all that's required is you having your super, and once you activate it, go over and you'll pick up the node while you actually are fully charged. So you have to be fully charged, and then you pick up the node, and it'll cancel out your fully charged, but also it'll detonate the node into any nearby enemy. Once that's done, there's no time limit on this. You just have to wait until you get your super back. And once you have your super back, you'll be able to essentially charge 3-time attacks. So as opposed to being just charging and then doing one big explosion, while you're charging, you're going to be damaging enemies. It's going to explode 3 times. You'll have 2 charges, explosions, and then an actual release explosion, and you'll be able to do 3 times damage in your super. I only did this on a warlock. I don't know if this could translate into other supers, but it is something that I think is going to do fairly good damage. And if you're bringing this into any sort of PvE activity, it's going to kind of give you an advantage. And if you stack this with any sort of mods that will give you your super back just a whole lot quicker, which I wasn't in this case, I'm sure you could just sort of do this at will. And this also works in PvP, which is kind of interesting. So you could essentially do 3 times damage, though it would probably take quite a bit of time, and you'd have to have 2 supers for one particular match. But I could kind of see people doing it. I mean, again, with the way that mods can stack these days, who knows? So I'm just going to let the video play out a little bit now, guys. You'll see me actually doing this 3 times damage glitch right at the end. I think it's coming up here. Okay, here we go. I'll just take you through it as we watch. So I'm going to super. Going to charge up. Now, I almost derped here because I actually thought I grabbed the ball, but I didn't. So, and then I make sure you have an enemy up. But grab the ball as you're doing it, and once that's done, so you see that animation, again, you have to be fully charged. All you have to do is wait for your super to come back, throw a grenade at the enemy, and then, as you can see, you can do 3 different damages, charging twice and then the full explosion. So if you can find a way to extend this, or a way to get your super back a lot quicker, this could be really deadly, I guess, in PvP. I don't know if it's game breaking, but you know, again, with the way that some people are able to stack up stuff, there's quite a bit of mod meta out there at the moment. But that's going to be it for all the information in today's video, guys. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your Ruinous Effigy. I know I am, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot more exploits to come, as this is a fairly interesting weapon, definitely unique. And when these things sort of enter the game, well, we always have quite a few broken things, I call them fun things, that come along with it. So for today's secret hashtag, leave a hashtag Ruinous Effigy down below, or a hashtag new exotic, or any other thing that we talked about in this video. As always, I am Wilhelm Scream. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Little